to be dramatic or anything, you guys, but I genuinely think this is the coldest I have ever been in my life, ever. I'm freezing. I am back in the UK for a good time and not a long time, thank God, because it is cold, and I am reunited with my TBR pile, which is very fun, very exciting, and it's also immediately stressing me out, like the overwhelm of like books that need to be read. It's hit me immediately upon return. But anyway, I thought I would start this vlog with somewhat of a reading update for you guys, because it has been a week since I left the States and I have been a jet-lagged, freezing mess, honestly. I've also been exceptionally busy. Turns out when you move abroad and you come back for a few weeks, like everybody wants to see you, which is great, and I feel so popular, but also I'm tired and I'm an introvert and I need my space. I finished reading a really terrible mafia romance on my Kindle this morning and it truly was awful, so I'd like 0 out of 10 do not recommend. Can't even remember what it was called, but I don't recommend it. I also finished reading Candide by Voltaire this week, which I actually do highly recommend. That was very fun. It was one that was a set text for my degree, but I was not expecting to love it like I did. Also, hi, I just realized I chopped my hair off and I haven't even acknowledged that, and I forgot this will be the first time that you guys see it, so this happened. Wow. Anyway, yeah, so this was actually like really good. I wasn't expecting it to be as funny as it is or as tongue-in-cheek as it is, and it's just like a satirical like fable or parable written in the 1700s about this dude called Candide who goes on one hell of a journey all across the world, basically chasing the love of his life, and along the way he meets a huge cast of supporting characters who all have some kind of moral or philosophical question to pose that is answered. It's an interesting one. Like honestly, this usually would be like kind of my absolute worst kind of book, because I don't know if you guys remember me ranting about Little Women repeatedly when I read that a couple of years ago, but I hated it because I hated the kind of like moral elements being just thrown down my throat the whole time. But this was done in a much more palatable version. It's also a very short little book. I highly enjoyed it. It's translated from the original French. I think if you are French or you can speak French and you can pick this up in the original language, do, because there are some little nuances that appear to not really be translated into the English, which is a shame. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying this, and I have to write an essay on it this week. Not enjoying that quite so much, but you know, it's fine. It's because I've been distracted and therefore left it too late to start, and now I'm stressed. But I also picked up A Court of Thorns and Roses today. This is my new copy. I also got the new paperbacks of the ACOTAR series, similarly to buying the new paperbacks of the Throne of Glass series, because as I've said before, I'm trying to reread the entire Sarah J Maas universe before she releases Crescent City 3 in January, because I'm trying to remember all of the little interlinking things. And while there aren't a huge amount, I don't think right now, from Throne of Glass, although I'm just about to start Empire of Storms, so I feel like the interlinking plot points will probably be occurring more in Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash. Obviously there's going to be a lot with ACOTAR, so I'm going to be close reading this a little bit more, but I'm excited to get back stuck into it anyway. I have obviously the entire ACOTAR series to read, and then also I have my monthly TBR, which I've put here, which I will go through in a separate video. And then honestly, the likelihood of me getting to any of this is slim to none, but I'm hoping that Christmas week will give me some reading opportunities. I also haven't got to read like a full book for university at any point for the rest of this year, which is nice because the last few weeks I've had to read classics, so you know. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and speak because I realised that I have vlogged some b-roll today, but I hadn't actually introduced the vlog, and I'm trying to, while I'm here and not have a social life, film more so that I can be consistent with my uploads for you guys. So I don't know what this vlog's going to be, probably just like a weekly reading vlog, see how much I can read in a week. I'm thinking I'll read ACOTAR and then maybe one thing off this pile this week, because I've also got my essay, and then I think next week will be when the real reading starts. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and procrastinating my degree now. I'm gonna go back and actually do what I'm supposed to be doing. I have been objectively like the worst person in the world at vlogging the past couple days since I started this vlog. I feel like whenever I say on here that like I'm gonna be really active, and I'm going to get back into my posting schedule, is then immediately followed by me having the busiest week known to mankind. Like this week I've had so much work stuff going on, some freelance work to do, an essay due tomorrow which I've still not finished, and I'm like, when am I supposed to find the time? And it's like, yeah. But anyway, hi, I've also, excuse the state, I've just had my lips topped up, so we're looking a bit bruised and sore today. But I am halfway through ACOTAR. You guys already know my feelings on this book. It's one of my favourites of all time, so I'm not going to bother like going in depth on my thoughts and feelings, only I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying annotating it. I'm actually really enjoying reading this specific copy. It feels like a very well made, like a quality paperback, so I'm appreciating that, and it is adding to the level of enjoyment that I am feeling. But yeah, we've just had our second like glimpse of Reese. That's my way of giving like no spoilers, but also telling you guys where we're up to. And yeah, I'm just thoroughly enjoying being into it, and I'm hoping my deadline for my essay is tomorrow. I'm hoping I get it finished today, and then that means I can then read guilt-free then this weekend and actually get some reading done. I also got 2 new books yesterday, which I really shouldn't have done, but such is life. So I got Claire Keegan's So Late in the Day, which is this teeny tiny little novella. I picked it up because I saw it on the Lit List's Instagram, and I love her Instagram so much for like literary fiction and memoir recommendations. So I saw this and I knew I had to pick it up from her review, but also I'm really drawn right now to covers that look like they've been painted. I don't know what it is. Ever since I read Cleopatra and Frankenstein, my edition is the US hardback with the painted face. Stunning. So anything like that, I immediately want to pick it up. I don't know why. So I got this, and then I also, because it was release day, got Never by Jessa Hastings, which I think I'm going to read next, because I truly cannot wait any longer to pick this up. So as soon as I finish ACOTAR, that is going to be next on my list. At some point this week, I do want to film a late December TBR. I know it's going to be late, but I just haven't done a TBR for so long, and I thought it'd be fun to like shop my huge TBR pile, even though I've already kind of like laid out the books that I think I want to read, but I'm already like second guessing myself because we know that I'm a mood reader. So I think I need to film that at some point, probably tomorrow morning, hopefully, depending on getting this essay done. I wanted to film this morning, but then I was like, realistically, I need to focus on writing my essay because I'm only a third of the way through it, and it's due in like 24 hours, literally. 23 hours actually, if we're being really specific. 23 hours and 5 minutes. So anyway, that's just a look at my current headspace, reading activities and everything else. After this week, I have no more university assignments until the new year, so I will be able to read my stuff a little bit more, and I'm also not having to read like a full book again until the new year for uni. It's like excerpts and stuff that we're studying instead, so there's going to hopefully be a little bit less reading involved for university stuff and more fun reading involved now. Okay, so I am avoiding my responsibilities, which I do not recommend, by the way. This will come back to bite me in the ass later, but I'm now on page 269, aka chapter 31, and things are about to get interesting, my friends. I am so freaking excited, mostly because, like, honestly, although I love ACOTAR, as with 90% of the population, my favourite book in this series is Akamath, Court of Mist and Fury. Literally chef's kiss to the perfection that is that book. I am very excited to get onto that. I'm also very excited to get onto some of the books I have in that pile, and I think I'm definitely going to read 1, if not 2 non-SJM books before I do Akamath, because I kind of want to read Akamath when I have a week of like being able to really just get in, you know. I'm also debating doing a 24-hour readathon this weekend because I have nothing planned on Sunday, which I haven't had nothing planned on a weekend since I got back here. I haven't had nothing planned on a weekend actually for quite some time, so that's going to be really nice, and I have so many books that I'm really excited to read and to delve into. But anyway, that's not going to happen in this vlog. This vlog is just me apparently just rambling at the camera and not really doing much else. One very, very big difference I'm noticing reading it this time is that I have such a bigger appreciation for Nesta and her character, and actually I feel like I understand her so much better. She was always my least favourite character in the series, and even after reading A Court of Silver Flames when that first came out, I still didn't like her. I still don't like her, but I feel like I appreciate her and I understand a lot more of like her reasonings and her, I don't know, just the way that her brain works. And actually reading this again, I'm so less angry at the way that she is interacting with Feyre and with her dad and with Elaine than I was the first few times that I read it. Granted, like last time I read it, I don't think A Court of Silver Flames had come out, so obviously, you know, I'm looking at it with new eyes. And actually it's been that long since I read the ACOTAR series. I think last time was 2020 that I read it all in, so I feel like I'm seeing it with fresh eyes again, reading it 2 years later, which is actually really nice. It's not that I've forgotten things that have happened, because I haven't, but it's definitely reading like a newer book rather than Throne of Glass, for example, which I've read a lot more recently and which doesn't feel that refreshing reading it again. This is, yeah, I know, I'm enjoying it. This is good. This is good. Good morning, friends. It's the following morning, Thursday morning. I am coming at you from exactly the same place as yesterday because, let's face it, I basically have not moved from this position at all week thanks to work and university. I'm like this close to finishing my essay, so I thought I'd just take a brief break to talk to you guys because I finished ACOTAR last night and obviously I gave it 5 stars. I always do. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think this is, yeah, my favourite reread that I have done so far. I definitely, I think, picked up on a lot more than I usually do, and actually it was the first time annotating it, so I think because I was reading it a bit closer and like looking for those like interlinking plot points and just the various different Easter eggs that are left throughout the series, I certainly had a much better time, and I think it helped me to like really understand the characters on an even deeper level than I have done before, so I thoroughly enjoyed that. And then this morning I decided to pick up a new book. I was debating, because I'd already, I think, mentioned yesterday, I'd already set out my rough December TBR for while I'm back here, and then of course, being the world's biggest mood reader, I have immediately decided that I don't want to read any of those books, and now I just want to read everything else that's on the TBR pile. So this morning I picked up In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I've literally just read chapter 1 and that's it. I'm trying to bribe myself to finish my essay by giving myself like chapters every time I finish like a big chunk. I'm intrigued by this. I didn't want to read it earlier in the year because I actually read If We Were Villains at the start of the year, and everyone compares this lot to If We Were Villains, and If We Were Villains is one of my top books of the year. I loved it so much. I cannot stop thinking about it. It was impeccably well done, and being a literature student, obviously I adored the Shakespeare elements to If We Were Villains. So I wanted to leave a little bit of time before I picked up In My Dreams We Hold a Knife, or In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. But I have seen a few people reading this recently. I saw Faith, I think, reading this recently, and that was really the thing that pushed me to pick it up. I really enjoyed her reactions to it, and watching her kind of get further into the book when the plot kind of apparently kicks off, and, you know, trying to come up with all of like the theories of who done it, I suppose. So yeah, I'm in the mood for like a thriller. I picked this one up. After this I will go back and read A Court of Mist and Fury probably, but I also do want to do, I think I also mentioned yesterday, a 24-hour readathon this weekend, and that I think is when I'm going to pick up Never, because I wanted to just be able to read it guilt-free, and I can't read guilt-free really during the week because of uni and because of work, so I wanted to really enjoy that, so I decided to save that for the weekend and pick something else up in the meantime, being this, and then next week I will then be picking up Akamath, and maybe even ACA War. Maybe I'll do both in 1 week. And then I figured I'd save my Christmas romances for Christmas week instead, and then I can read Eileen and Cold World and stuff in January if I don't manage to read them this side of Christmas, just because they're not necessarily Christmas specific books, they are winter specific books, and we are very much still in winter. But anyway, that has been a ramble. I must now write another 200 words of this essay, read through it, do my references, format everything and send it off. I have 2 hours. I never, ever, ever finish an essay on deadline day. I always do it way before, so I'm annoyed at myself this morning. I will not be doing this again. Oh, why am I not in focus? Come on. We did it. We did it. Oh, that is a relief. I only have 4 assignments left before my big final this year, as in this university year, and then I'm free for another year. Oh, okay, that feels good. That feels, yeah. And now I can read guilt-free today. Oh my gosh, what a treat. I'm so excited. Oh my god. I'm feeling heavily invested in this already. I'm really enjoying like the character dynamics now that we are at the university. So what I've gathered from this so far is that it is kind of a dual timeline situation. So you've got the present time, which is post-graduation, where one of the group has died, very similar to If We Were Villains, and they are going to be reuniting at a reunion, funnily enough, that the university is putting on, I think like 10 years after graduation. And then our main protagonist, Jessica, is kind of obsessed with the idea of perfection. She is an chronic overachiever, one of like the gifted kids at school, and she's kind of battling with the pressures that her family put on her to be the best and to stand out and everything else. And then we have the past timeline, which sees Jessica before she's achieved the successes post-graduation, starting high school, starting university, meeting her group of friends and kind of navigating her way in the world and how she fits in with this group. And there's definitely a lot of like imposter syndrome coming through from her, because she's immediately found herself in this group of equally talented and also very rich individuals, and she does not seem to come from that background. So right now what I'm getting is that she's kind of like battling with the feelings of inadequacy and trying to kind of like hide her true self in order to fit in with them. Very intriguing. I love how I've got all of that from 3 full chapters. I'm just about to start chapter 4 now. Very, very intrigued to see what's going to happen. Also, there's one character that we don't seem to have been introduced to yet, and in the first 2 chapters there was like a lot of discussion about this character and how she was not nice. So I'm very curious to see when we get introduced to her and how she like switches up the dynamics of the group that we've already kind of established in chapter 3. Guys, this is getting really very good. Still, I don't like it as much as I liked If We Were Villains, still. And I know I keep comparing the 2 and I really shouldn't compare the 2, but I'm comparing the 2. This is good. This is really good. Also, this angle is doing nothing for me right now. This though, oh wow. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm very glad I picked this up. This is exactly what I needed. Love this for me. Feeling very pleased about my life choices right now. I just guessed the plot of a thriller perfectly. Just call me Poirot, just call me a genius. I guessed both the plot twists. I'm still not done, so there could be another one and I could be proven wrong, but like, oh my days. This is very good. It's not quite a 5-star read, I don't think. I think it's sitting somewhere around a 4, maybe like a 4.5. But it's very good, and I am very glad that I picked it up. I've also read like a book in a day, so go me. Okay guys, it's super late, as you can probably tell from my tired little face, but I finished In My Dreams We Hold a Knife. I really enjoyed this. It's definitely, I think, a 4-star. I think just because I guess like all of the twists aside from literally the final page, and while I really enjoyed it and it was definitely a page turner, it wasn't perfect. I felt like the ending was a bit, I don't know, not contrived, but it just kind of like lacked the same pace and the same like wow factor as the rest of the book for me. But I still really enjoyed it. I don't know why this clip is markedly out of focus, by the way. I do apologise. I think it's probably the lighting in my room. But I am going to sleep now, so I'm going to end the vlog here, and I'm going to start another one tomorrow with my weekend reading
because I'm going to try and do like a 24-hour readathon over the course of 2 days. Obviously going to read Never by Jessa Hastings, and then there's a few other books on my TBR that I think I want to try and tackle. So that is the plan for tomorrow, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye friends.